Hey there, welcome to Synth Seeker. My name's Luke. I'm totally in the box today. It's January, what is it? January what? January 25th. Oh, we're getting close, guys. We're getting close. So the 25th day of January, where I am making a snippet or a piece of a song or something like that every day, and then using those ideas later in the year to basically generate, they're just ideas, seeds of ideas that will turn into something more later in the year. But the reason I'm just in the box today is because someone wrote in and asked, hey, can you demonstrate global transposition on the LaunchPad Pro? And can you also sort of talk about the setup for it? So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to do a little Berlin School 2-voice performance, and that'll be the jam. So if you're just here for the jam, go ahead and watch that. And then after that, what I'm going to do is deconstruct how I set up the jam, configured it, how the LaunchPad Pro works with Ableton at a very high level, but enough to basically get in. They have some questions around fixed length looping and things like that. And then I'm going to show you how you do global transposition using the LaunchPad, which is a useful tool. And I'll demonstrate it here. Okay, I'm totally going to talk over this as we're going. What I've got here is 2 voices in Ableton. Voice 1 and voice 2, they're basically identical except that one's a sawtooth and the other's a square wave, okay? And what's on each track is a pitch control, we'll use that for global transposition, a scale device that's going to force our transpositions to stay in key, we're in the key of C minor. Then there's an analog with an echo and a reverb and a little modulation effect, chorus in this case. On the second voice, it's exactly the same, all right? Pitch, scale device, analog. This one's using sawtooth, square waves. But again, echo, reverb, and in this case, a flanger. All right. Now, let's do the performance real quick. I've got a LaunchPad Pro over here. You're going to get shaky cam. All right. That's device. What device is that? That's device 1. And then device 2 is... All right, so those are 2 voices. Now, as far as LaunchPad Pro is concerned, there's a button on the left-hand side, fixed length. Okay, this is for turns on, goes blue. That means this is going to be a fixed length loop, just like it is on the push. The way you set how long you want it to be is you press and hold, and the buttons down at the bottom light up. And that would be 1 bar, 2 bars, 3 bars, 4 bars, etc., all the way out to 8. And then you release this, all right? And then basically, let me select, I'm going to record voice 1 first. Okay. And we're going to set a little, what are we working in? 90 BPM 4/4. Okay. So if we start the transport running, okay. And I'm going to just lay down a little 4-bar loop here, okay? Now, the trick with global transposition is you want them to be pretty simple. You want to play a lot of root notes and then very few things that aren't root notes, just a couple. Fifths are totally safe, but don't go playing long melodies and chord changes when you're going to be doing global transposition. You want to stay sort of on the root, and you'll end up moving things around later doing the transposition stuff, but we'll get there. Let's record a little loop. Here we go. And I've got auto quantization turned on, so that'll keep it clean for me for now. And now what I'll do is I'll go select my other instrument. We'll lay down a slightly different loop. This one's only going to be 1 bar, all right? And it's going to be real simple. So here we go. All right, so I've got those 2 playing. Let's look at those and sort of even out their velocity. Got a few outliers here. We'll look at this one, and we'll sort of pull in the ones where the velocity is a little high. All right, so we've got these 2 patterns, all right? Now, for global transposition, I'm going to demonstrate it and talk about what I'm doing while it's happening, okay? And what I want you guys to watch is watch this pitch device. Both of these tracks have a pitch device on it, okay? And the pitch device is going to shift as I play certain notes on the keyboard. So here we go. Okay. So now we're going to go down an octave. Now we're going to go to a fifth. And you can hear the arpeggiation is changing because the pitch controls are changing. The pitch controls are actually mapped to this little section of my push. So sorry, this is all hand cam and laptop microphone, but so what were you just seeing? Okay, so if you were watching my hand press the buttons on the push and you were seeing these pitch devices change their setting based on how I tap these things. And it's really just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, can't see it over the mouse. There we go. 1. So -12, -11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So this little section, these notes on the push, these notes on the LaunchPad Pro are controlling the pitch devices, whereas everything else on the LaunchPad are our instruments. Okay, so that's the little performance that you can set up 2 simple patterns and then transpose them around using another controller or a section of your controller that you're not using. And it's useful. All right. So that's the jam for now. I know, really brief. Let's talk about how you set this up. Okay. So if we flip back over to Ableton, all right, and we bring up our settings, all right, and we go to the MIDI tab. Okay, this is the LaunchPad Pro, right? In order for you to be able to use the LaunchPad Pro, these two tick boxes need to be ticked off. Now, there's also this control surface LaunchPad Pro up here. All right, these 3 things are very different. This up here allows the LaunchPad Pro to control the Ableton session, be able to start and stop the transport, and be able to launch clips and have the box highlighted for session mode and things like that. Okay, so this should just be there by default, and Live should just detect the LaunchPad Pro and do the right thing. Okay, down here, this first MIDI import, track and remote. What are these for? Well, if I turn off remote, right, and I look at this, you look at this pitch plugin now the notes, when I press these notes, I actually get notes and the pitch doesn't change. Okay. So what this remote tick box does is this allows any MIDI that comes in from the LaunchPad to be used for remote mapping. All right. And the track input is having this ticked off. If you turn this off, then all note information from the push gets ignored. Okay. So you have to have track on so that Live can see notes coming in from the push, from the LaunchPad. I'm going to say push a lot, and when I mean LaunchPad, just do the transposition yourself. This enables MIDI note input and like MIDI CC, things that come into the track. All right. This tick box enables the mapping. All right. So once those are both on, right, this MIDI mapping button, right, or Command M, Control M, right, this allows you to do map controls to things coming in off the LaunchPad. And I've got 2 mappings here. I've got notes C1 through C2, so an octave's worth of notes, all right, mapped to voice 1 and voice 2 pitch controls to the actual pitch amount in the range of -12 to 0 and -12 to 0. What does that mean? All right, well, let me delete these. Okay, they're gone now. And what I want to happen is when I press these buttons on my LaunchPad, I don't want it to play notes. I want it to control this pitch control. Okay. So what I do is I bring up my remote mapping. All right. And what channel am I? I'm on voice 1, and I select the pitch control. And then I go out to my push and I press and hold down my lowest note. and I press and hold down one note above it. And you'll see, after I've done that, there's a mapping listed here now, saying from C1 to C2. That's what those two notes are. And the range is a big range from -128 to +128. Well, there's only 12 notes in this range. Okay, they're technically 13, but what you want to do is change this range to go -12 to 0. All right, then go over to this track, voice 2, select the pitch control on it, and repeat. Press C1 through C2. And you'll see that there's now a C1, C3 for voice 2 in the pitch control, and you want to set this one to -12 to 0. Now when you shut down, or hit Command-M again, stop the MIDI mapping mode. Now when I go press these keys, you'll see that the pitch control changes. That's a remote mapping. That's how it works. And you can do this with any controller, and you can do it with multiple controllers. If you've got another LaunchPad, or you've got some other device that sends MIDI into Ableton, like a keyboard or something like that, a small, mini keyboard, you can use that instead. All right. And that's basically how you do remote mapping. So now when I go to play this and I press notes on the LaunchPad, I'll get transpositions. And that's how it works. Okay. So this has been January 25th. I hope this is useful to you guys, and I will talk to you tomorrow. All right. And hey, there's my son. Say hi, Ford.
Oh, hi. Oh, you're on camera?
Yeah. Say hello.
How are you guys?
Yeah, okay. That's good. That's the offspring. All right. There's some insight. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. And as always, you've been watching Synth Seeker. Thanks.
Oh, were you recording for your YouTube?